Hi, I'm Rick Steves. I'm at a big coffee plant in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. Hello. And we're learning about development. And one big factor in development these days is China. And you see containers everywhere from China. And another big issue is coffee. This is just a classic example. You produce a treasured raw material, and do you want to sell it raw or do you want to sell it processed? You make more money when you sell it processed. So here we have the coffee beans. And this is the #1 export crop in Ethiopia, and here all the coffee beans are rated. These are the bad ones. This is for local consumption. The rejects are sold in the market, and people buy their coffee green and they roast it at home. And then these guys determine what's the good coffee and what coffee is good enough to be exported. And while this is like the #1 agricultural export here in Ethiopia, the grand total was $700 million of coffee beans. Now $700 million, that's not a lot for a country like Ethiopia to gross when it comes to selling their treasured raw product of coffee. $700 million they sold of green coffee beans, which would then be roasted in other countries. They only sold $500,000 of roasted coffee beans. The trick is to take the raw material and invest in it here, creating all sorts of other jobs and selling it for more of a markup, for more profit. It costs $1 to buy a pound of green coffee beans. You can make 40 cups of beautiful coffee out of a pound of green coffee beans. There's a huge gap in the potential profit between selling those green beans raw and processing it here, closer to where it's grown. We're thinking about development, and if we can get smart on development, our world can be a more stable place. Happy travels from Ethiopia.